And now, coming to you live from the tri-state area and San Francisco, California, it's the best part of Wednesday, Waffle Box, with your hosts, Mike Fish and Kush Hayes.
Welcome to Waffle Box, the podcast where we talk about anything, everything, and anything, all at the same time. Coming up on episode 65, we're talking about an interesting shipment coming into the US of A. We're talking about a world record that proves size does matter. Plus, we're doing Clerks 3 in this week's movie review. Plus, we're live! My name's Mike Fish, and I am joined, as always, by the main man in San Fran. It's Mr. Kush Hayes. Kush, how are you doing this Sunday evening?
Fuck it, we'll do it live. What's good, y'all? Man, I am having a great weekend here. I was just a part of last night's SF Giants Wall of Fame induction of greatest outfielder. His name is so blanking on me right now.
It was so
Hunter Pence.
good.
Hunter Pence. But we're doing it live.
Oh, yeah, we're doing it live. I can't
We're doing it live.
What?
Oh my goodness.
So that was fun.
I had a great time. Obviously, maybe I had too good of a time, but yeah, I'm happy to have this day off. It is currently raining in San Francisco. The 49ers have just beat the Seattle Seahawks by 13 points, which is not a thing they do almost ever. So congratulations to my 49ers.
Well, my New York Football Giants have just beat the Carolina Panthers by 3 points and gone 2-0 for the first time in years. So I'm super hyped. I think it's
So
like
Super Bowl dreams becoming more and more of a reality.
Oh, I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I'm too pessimistic for that, but
all right, that's
be
probably
nice.
smart. Like I've always been amazed that like football is always like, again, 2 weeks in, the season's usually been decided by at least the hardcore fans. Like, we lost, man. The season's only 1-1. We're never going to the Super Bowl ever again. And woe and peril.
Oh yeah, no, it's it. If you lose your opening game, that's it. Let's tank the season, try to get a good first round pick next year. Let's try again next year. The way the American sports franchises are worked out, it's weird to me. Like even if the Giants were, they're 17 games now in the season, so even if they were 0-16, I'm still cheering. I just want them to win that last game. I don't give a shit about the picks next year. I want to see my team win. That's what we get into this for, right? Real quick, a little bit of admin work since we are live. We're doing this live for a bit of funsies, just to that. But also, while we're doing that, we thought we'd do a little live fundraiser. It doesn't have to be necessarily while we're on the air. You can always donate when you watch this, rewatch this, listen to this, however you want to do it. But I want to do a little bit of fundraising for the Liberty Humane Society, which is a fantastic dog and cat shelter in Jersey City, close to where I live. So if you want to go, hit the link in the description below. Go to charity.enjoywafflebox.com and donate whatever you can. All the proceeds goes through GoFundMe, so don't worry, I'm not going to get my dirt little mitts on it, just in case you're worried that I'm a creepy little guy with a beard. And I'm English, so I'm always the villains in the movies. But no, this is all going to be handled by GoFundMe, so don't worry. All that money is safe, and it is going to go to the good cause. So charity.enjoywafflebox.com.
And while we appreciate the kind of donations that jingle, we prefer the kind we can throw in the air that folds.
There we go. Keeping with the tradition, even though we're live. What have you been up? Other than that, I'm not liking this time of year, Kush. I'm gonna be honest.
Days are getting shorter, hotter, colder, wetter. What?
Well, it's that deceiving time of year, which I believe some of you, I call autumn in the UK, but you Americans insist on calling it fall. You crazy bastards. But like when the sun comes up, it's still here in the northeast, still hot, humid, sweating my balls off. But then as soon as that sun goes down, you're like, oh, I instantly regret wearing shorts. And it's really cold. It's like deceiving. You don't know what to do. I don't like it. Either be hot or cold. Don't do this weird shit that tease me. Is that the same thing over in San Fran? Do you get seasons? Because I heard in California your seasons are kind of weird.
Our seasons are very lopsided. Like I said, it's been raining today, but yesterday when I got up, yeah, it was hot, but then the sun went down over Oracle Park, and all of a sudden it was cold, and then you could see like the clouds forming and all that. You're like, oh boy, it's gonna rain later. And then but we had a heat wave a week ago, which consisted of 3 or 4 days where your main man Kush was in shorts and flip flops when appropriate, and it was like that for not just the daytime but the nighttime as well.
What are we talking about here? When you say heat wave, how hot are we talking?
It was as high as 90 out here.
Oh, that's not a heat wave.
For San Francisco, it is.
I was in.
Everyone needs to quit telling me what my weather isn't. Okay, I'm here. I'm experiencing it.
When I was when I went back UK, where everyone talks about how crap the weather is in UK, they were experiencing a heat wave, and it was like 104 degrees or some shit. That's
at some point, hot is just hot, man. Your heat wave can be 100 degrees too.
I will actually. No, I will subscribe to that. Because I'm a big advocate for the whole cold is cold. Like once it goes below freezing, I don't care how cold it is. It's freezing. I'm cold.
When I was in the Phantom Zone this summer, it'd be like 94 degrees or whatever. Then someone's like, we're gonna be 85 tomorrow. I'm like, it's still hot. It's still gonna be hot, and we're still laboring here. Okay, like that's hurting. It's still hot.
Now, am I wearing shorts or not? That's all I need to know. Whatever. And also, as I was saying off air before we went live in the green room, I just went out before we went live. I was like, oh, I'll get a little bit of nicotine break. I'll get that going. And I went outside in my backyard here in New Jersey, and I went out for 5 minutes, and my legs were it was dinner time, but destroyed by goddamn mosquitoes. That's the only reason I hate summer. What is the point of mosquitoes? That's the kind, because I always think we have certain naturous beasts, such as bees. They're annoying, but they do a thing, and wasps and stuff. They get honey and all that jar. They help us out in some way, so you kind of let them be. Spiders, even, they kind of control some of the things going on in the backyard situation. What do mosquitoes do, other than annoy you and drink your blood?
I got nothing.
Or have you ever had that where do you have? Okay, I'm totally showing my ignorance here, but I'm assuming you get mosquitoes in the West Coast, right? I'm assuming that.
Not just on the West Coast, but I'm a few blocks away from a lake, so yeah, we get we get mosquitoes. When we get them, I'm surprised we don't have any right now, but we normally get them.
Like the worst, I think this might be the worst ever human experience. Might be going a little bit too far there, but whatever. But if you ever have the misfortune where a mosquito finds its way into your home, and you're like, I've had a good day. I've completed all my jobs. I'm not doing any more jobs today. So you lay down in bed, you turn the light off, no more jobs today. Good night. And then I fucking hate that, because now I have to turn the light back on. Now I have to hunt this thing down, like I'm in Taken, the really shitty version of Taken. But I have to hunt this down, and if you're lucky enough to hunt that thing down and kill it, by that point, I'm wide awake now. Fuck. Mosquitoes. Shit. If that was the mosquitoes. Yeah, you're gone.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, best use of the trapdoor ever.
Done. All right, let's get into the stories for today. Don't forget to go to charity.enjoybox.com. A couple of stories today. First one's a quick one. Babies. People consistently insist on having babies. Like I was at my friend's house today watching the football game, and before we get into this is how I look like a fucking weirdo today, right? So I was hanging out with my buddy yesterday, and he invited me around his place to watch football today, right? And so I was like, perfect. Yeah, no worries. I'll do that. I'll come around. Because the Giants game starts at 1. So I'll be around there at like 12:45. Bang. And he's like, oh, just what FYI. FYI. Yeah.
For your information.
For your information. He's like, oh, we watch, because they're big fantasy football guys. So they watch Red Zone. They don't watch a game. Okay. They watch Red Zone. And for those who don't know what Red Zone is a service put on by the NFL, which is basically whenever anything interesting happens at a game, it switches to that game. So it's constantly switching to different games, and you can never fucking pay attention to anything. It's really fucking annoying, but some people love it because I guess they do fantasies and they want to watch the shit. So I was like, no worries, I'm gonna bring my own TV. So I have a TV. This TV right here, if you're watching live, you can see it in the background. It's there. It's black, so it kind of merges in, but there is a TV there. It's kind of smallish. It's on probably like the 30-ish inch range. So it's not super heavy. No. So I was like, no worries. I'm going to take this out. It's all over Wi-Fi. It's a Roku TV. I'll just put it in my car, drive to you, take it out, plug it into your house. You can have your Red Zone on. I'll have the Giants game on. We'll drink beer. We'll have a fun time. However...
What a very accommodating and what a very good guest that you are there, Mike.
Right?
Not only are you like bringing beer, but you bring a whole other TV. No one else does that.
I'm bringing extra entertainment.
Why do I feel like this goes south, though?
This goes south because so he lives literally like an 8-minute drive from me. So I'm just driving there, drive, and then as I get close to his place, there's like a police blockade. And Google Maps is like, keep going forward. It's like, no, I have to. No, I always put Google Maps on just because it's like, I don't want to pay attention. I just want to go turn left here, Dick. And I'm like, thank you. So I just do that. So I did that, and it's like, oh, so I have to turn left, and I have to turn right, and I'm going to see if I can go around it a little bit because his house is a few blocks down. So maybe his house isn't blocked. Turns out his bit was blocked, so I had to keep going round, and then I was trying to find parking, and I just couldn't find parking. I was just driving round. I eventually find parking 5 blocks away from his house.
Okay.
So I had to look like a weirdo who's just literally stolen so I'm just walking through the town, walking through the streets with a TV under my arm and a 12-pack of Heinekens in the other hand. And people are out. It's Sunday afternoon. People are out enjoying the weather, looking at me like, what the fuck? Hey,
pay no mind, Constable. I'm just taking my telly for a stroll.
Well, it turns out there was like I don't know what it was commemorating, but there was a parade on. He lives on near a main street. So, yes, there was plenty of police there. And I'm just walking past the police, carrying this TV, looking like a weirdo.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I didn't get arrested. So that was good. But yeah, anyway, yeah, the reason that reminded me of because his brother was there and he had his kids there, and they're like, "Uncle Mike!"
Like the kids didn't hijack the TV. The TV didn't get broken. No one said, "Why'd you bring your fucking TV, stupid?" Like
they kept trying to touch it though.
Oh,
so don't touch my TV. Don't break my TV. I love you because we're family basically. I consider you nephews, but don't break my TV. Otherwise, I will put you up for adoption. I don't care what your dad says. But yeah. So yeah, they will keep fucking with me. But now, anyway, babies. Babies need wipes because you need to wipe their butts when they poop. And so, but apparently there's like a shortage of things like that, like baby wipes, baby formula, and stuff like that, because of I don't know what. I guess maybe Russia's fucking everything up still. Goddamn Russians. I don't know, but there's a shortage. So there was a giant shipment coming in from. The Laredo, Columbia Solidarity Bridge. Everyone knows where that is. No idea. So this giant truck. This is my impression of a truck. Truck. Was coming in with basically a lot of baby wipes. And so they did this vision. Oh yeah, look, that truck's got baby wipes, and the paperwork says it's got lots of baby wipes. Yeah, cool. Yeah, you're good. You're good to go. Thank you very much for bringing the baby wipes into this country. And then, luckily, someone was like, actually, I want to give this one a second look over, just in case, because it's, I don't know, maybe it seems a little bit sus. Just baby, is that all you're bringing in? Baby wipes? Why are you only bringing baby wipes? And so U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers discovered these baby wipes were not baby wipes. Oh, no, 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 no.
Okay.
They were, in fact, 1,500 pounds of cocaine. All in baby wipe packages. Which apparently has a street value of $11.8 million dues. What a, like, that's, I'm assuming this guy knew what he was doing, or maybe he was like a mule. But yeah, I reckon that's like a nervous, because if you're trucking on, again, truck. Oh my God, I hope they don't discover that these baby wipe packages are actually full of cocaine. Truck. And the first guy goes, you're through. Woo! Home free! And then that Curb Your Enthusiasm song plays, and then he's fucked. How would you feel if you was that guy?
If I was that guy again, are we under the impression that he knows that what he's carrying is not baby wipes, or is he just oblivious?
So
what's my motivation here, Mike Fish?
In the story, it doesn't actually say.
And but what is my motivation, Mike Fish?
So 1,935 packages of cocaine, totaling 1,532 pounds. Well, the motivation is you're a guy who's driving this truck across the border, delivering something. Would you? Because I imagine, right? So if you're delivering things, I'm a
deliverer. Put my delivery hat on.
Don't you normally like deliver like many things? Would you not? Would you not feel like? I don't know. Again, I'm not a delivery driver, but would you not feel a bit weird that
every delivery driver
can you
will
drive
have
this
a
truck
manifest
into America? Yeah, what's in it? Baby wipes. Anything else?
Yeah, no,
nope.
There's a manifest. There's always a manifest on board.
Okay. I mean, it's just if it's just baby wipes are pretty light. Is there anything else I can take on the truck? Nope. Just these baby wipes. Make sure you don't make eye contact with anyone. So, okay, it's weird.
So first off, no truck driver is going, would you like me to take anything else? They just take the trailer. No, I'm confirming that for you. They don't go like, oh, would you like me to make a second stop somewhere? They have a manifest of everything that's on the fucking thing. They have a time to be at destination X, and that's it. And then they go on from there. There's no like, oh, like, hey, I could take these baby wipes and maybe some strollers too. How about that? Or a shipment of DVDs from 2005. Like, they don't do any of that. They show up at the spot. The guy goes, here, you're driving that thing, and then they do. And that's what that is. But
well, still, if you try and bring Coca-Cola into this country, try better, I guess. Maybe
I'd say baby wipes was pretty clever. That's one of the more clever things I've heard.
Because obviously I'm not that I'm a big man familiar with cocaine, but I imagine it's like once you pack it into its bricks, it can be quite a little bit heavy. Baby wipes, because they're moist, quite heavy. I guess you could do the whole.
Yeah, but again, most inspection agents will just like cut the box open and go like, yeah, those are baby wipes. They won't do the time to like actually like pick something up and you're like, I don't know, this feels like a brick of powder to me, sir.
Maybe they stuck their little finger in the baby wipe. These don't taste like baby wipes.
These don't taste like aloe vera.
Just up right now.
But they sure are making my gums feel tingly. Oh.
Maybe my teeth have never been so clean. They're tingly. Anyway, there you go. Try harder next time. That's where we get from that.
And that was Waffle Box Theater. My motivation as a truck driver.
We like to entertain in more ways than one. Speaking of kids like toys. Segway. Pow. You may remember last year we discussed the 2021 inductees into the National Toy Hall of Fame? Well, you'll be happy to find out that they've just announced the finalists. It didn't actually specify whether there's a voting process, so I don't know whether this is what's the point of doing the finalists, just induct them or don't. But they've announced the finalists, 12 finalists for the National Toy Hall. Jeez, I can't speak. The National Toy Hall of Fame. There's a lot of Toy Hall of Fames. So we're gonna go through the 12 here, and because out of these 12, 3 will make the final cut and be inducted into the National Hall of Fame. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to list off the 12, and we're going to try to predict which 3 make it into the National Toy Hall of Fame. And then, after November 10th, we'll revisit this and realize how smart we are.
Yeah, I got to write this down. I want to write this down.
Right. So the 12, some of these are pretty obvious. Some of these I had to put a little research in to find out what exactly these were. Okay. So, toy number 1, Bingo.
Oh,
now
it's more of a game, but okay.
It's a game. Also, it's gambling. Is this really a toy? Isn't Bingo for like over 21s or over 18s, depending on which country you're in?
It's usually for over 65s, but
yeah, sure. Okay, yes. But for legal reasons, like not many people. Hey kids, want to play Bingo? Oh yay! Like no.
There's plenty of establishments that have all ages bingo, but the prizes are usually not cash in those situations.
Yeah. So already bingo's not. I don't think bingo's gonna make it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of bingo. It's on this list at least.
Number 2, Breyer horses, which are
what the hell is that?
It's a toy horse. It's a toy horse. It is what it is. So I guess it's a specific version of the rocking horse, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Sure, we'll go with that. Number 3,
that one.
Catan. So Catan.
I'm guessing that's with a K.
Catan. So Catan is a German-style board game in which players representing settlers establish a settlement on an island by spending resources which are earned through trade and rolls of the dice. Sounds
it's the second worst thing Germany's ever produced.
Indeed. And not by far, unfortunately. This is how bad this game is, so it's not going to be on my list. Number 4. Now we're talking. Number 4, Light Bright. Everyone knows what a Light Bright is. Stick your things in different patterns and it lights up all different colors. It's fun. Number 5, Masters of the Universe.
Okay.
So again, we're talking toys here. So the action figure line, I'm assuming.
That's at least a
He-Man. And the Masters of the Universe. And what was his like tiger's name or whatever it was?
Well, his tiger was Cringer, who would then turn into Battle Cat.
And do I remember? Am I thinking of another one? But in the cartoon version, wasn't his cat really obnoxious and had a really whiny voice? If I remember correctly.
Definitely had a whiny voice because as Cringer, he was he cringed. He was a coward. He was like, oh, Adam, I don't know about this. And like, now settle down, Cringer. We have to stop Skeletor. By the power of Grayskull, lightning bolt. Now you're back. And then he'd be like, fuck yeah, Battle Cat. Let's fuck up some Skeletors.
It doesn't voice. It's like, bitch, that fucking He-Man. You're ruining my vibe.
It was weird that they just didn't keep him as Battle Cat the entire time. Like,
yeah, just. Sorry,
like, Battle Cat didn't always have to like kill and murder people, but at least it wasn't like, oh, I don't know, I don't know.
Fuck you, Cringer. And to be fair, if you got a cat named Cringer, what do you expect? Next one on the list, Nerf toys. Ooh.
The entire Nerf brand?
It just says Nerf toys. So yeah, it could have been Nerf guns, Nerf other things.
Nerf football, okay.
Nerf football. Yeah, that's another thing. All I knew of was Nerf guns, but yeah, Nerf toys. That's, and then next one is Pinata.
Oh,
Pinata.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, that one's going in.
I do like a pinata, but is it like the good thing is like with like say Masters of the Universe and Light Bright and even Nerf toys. Once you're done with it, you can pack it away. Save that for another day when I want entertainment. Pinata. Once you beat it to death, it's like, oh, we'll have to buy another one now. So I think that might, even though I do like beating the shit out of a good pinata, get that sweet candy. It's reuse value, might knock it down, maybe. We'll see. Next one, Phase 10, which is a rummy-style card game which challenged players to collect a various group of cards to complete 10 phases in sequential order before their opponents. I am already bored just reading that. No.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's not... No.
Fuck you, Phase 10.
Like, they're really scraping the bottom of the barrel now. Like, that's not it. Next one, Pound Puppies.
Okay.
Which were, I think they were just like dog toys, like furry, like
they're more like stuffed animals, but I could see them being a toy, sure.
When I did a little bit of my research, is that I found that they were so popular that in like the 80s when they sold out, they found a correlation between the Pound Puppies selling out and adoptions of real dogs increasing. So it's like people, if I can't get Pound Puppies, I'll get a real dog in there, I guess. How crazy is that?
I would say Pound Puppies were like second to the Cabbage Patch Kid. Like there was a big demand for them. You know, they looked like a little puppy and then had the big pathetic eyeballs that were just, you know, absolutely adorable. And you're like, oh, I want a Pound Puppy.
Next one is a game called Racko, RACK-O, which now this if you thought Phase 10 was boring, ready for this one? So to play Racko, players replace numbered cards in their racks during each round, so their card numbers read in a progression from lowest to highest.
Fuck you. Oh my god, this is such a boring list.
Yeah. Oh, but get ready to get.
I wish we could revisit what has been in the Hall of Fame, but we're not going to do it now because we're live. But like I keep going. Why not just put Domino's in there? But Domino's is probably in there already. But what's number 11?
I mean, yeah, like Racko sounds pretty boring, but this is considering, as we did visit, if you go back to I think November-ish of last year when we spoke about the 2021 list, as we did discuss that Stick is in the Toy Hall of Fame. So you know. Whatever.
Stick, it was clever at least. Like it sounded ridiculous, but like, yeah, you know, I get it. I played with Stick.
Who didn't love?
I also
playing
played
with Stick?
I played with Stick all the time.
Everyone loves Sticks. Number 11, Spirograph. Now it's all
okay.
Spirograph. Everyone fucking loves Spirograph.
I get like Spirograph isn't like necessarily a game. It's not necessarily a toy.
It's not. But it's a toy. It's a toy.
I at least get why it's on this list as opposed to Phase 10 and Catan.
And then the final ones, when we get into the very generic range again, it's the Top, which most famously is I guess the most famous kind of top is the spinning top.
Yes.
Yeah. So those are the 12. So Bingo, Brer Horses, Catan, Light Bright, Masters of the Universe, Nerf Toys, Pinata, Phase 10, Pound Puppies, Racko, Spirograph, and Top. So as discussed previously, only the top 3 will take their honoured places in the Hall of Fame this year. And they'll be announced on Thursday, November 10th. So, after discussing them, what's your top 3? I mean, it doesn't have to be top 3 in any specific order, but if you had to predict, which 3 do you see going into the Hall of Fame this year?
I think Top is definitely clinched it. I believe Pinata will also be inducted. And then I'm stuck on this third one, man. Like, I don't see Pound Puppies taking it. I don't see Phase 10 getting in there. But, like, I could see why Light Bright would get picked up. I could see why Masters of the Universe would get picked up. I could see why Nerf, the whole brand, would get picked up, despite it should be, like, Nerf specific. It should be the football or the toy guns or whatever. But then Spirograph, like, that's just so weird. Like, that could also be, like, it's all about imagination, and, again, that's why Stick won last year. But, I'm just going to go with my heart. Masters of the Universe, that was a big thing in our childhood, so that's it. I'm saying Masters of the Universe, Pinata, and Top are going to be this year's Hall of Fame inductees.
Let me
I'm
just
putting
write this
that
down.
up on my wall right now. So
Kush.
see it in November.
Picked, so Masters of the Universe,
Mm-hmm.
Pinata, and a Top.
And the Top.
So, my list, I have also gone for Pinata on my list.
Okay, smart.
However, I've got two different ones. Just based on the history, as we previously discussed, they've got Sticks, Chalk is all in there. I feel they're trying to get
involves imagination of the child and
in there. So with Pinata, I have chosen Light Bright.
I think that's a good bet.
And I've gone Spirograph. I've gone that.
Again, also a good toys, actual toys that use the imagination. You can create anything with a Light Bright. You can create almost anything with a Spirograph. Really unique shit.
As long as it's
Masters of the Universe, it's all the same old, just a different head and a different homoerotic costume. Pinata, I mean, you destroy the pinata. You don't do anything to build it. And Top is just spins. I get it. So yeah, I think that's a really good choice. Two choices there too, Mike. I look forward to seeing what this goes in November.
Indeed, November 10th, so roughly 8 weeks time. So what we got? It's 65. So
let's ask my main lady Alexia here. Computer, how many days is November 10th? 53 days from today's broadcast.
There you go. 53 days, which equates to about 7-ish weeks. 7
weeks. Yeah.
So yeah, roughly episode 70, 72, 73. We'll be back to see what he's doing. But yeah, let us know in the comments. Hit us up on Twitter at WaffleboxPod. What do you think your top 3 are? What 3 toys deserve to go in to the Hall of Fame? Right, before we wrap up the first half of this week's show, we're going to go into everyone's favorite segment, as we always do, after the opening bullshit that we talk about. It's this week's Dumb World Record of the Week.
Why?
Why? Why would I? Why? Why?
Why? Why? Why? Why? Why would you want to do that?
Why? Oh, why? Now, this one is actually a kind of special one, just because technically this isn't a world record that has been broken. This is this is discussing a world record that is going to be attempted very shortly. But the reason I wanted to highlight this one is because often, as we've discussed, a lot of the times that we talk about dumb world records, they're not necessarily dumb because of the actual world record, which, yes, they more often than not actually. But a lot of times it's like, why are they doing it? Why? And I need more information. This one has a lot of information packed into it, so I'm kind of excited to kind of unpack it. Also, just to kind of give a follow-up of last week's show, where we kind of suggested that we was going to reach out to Mr. Rush, who's a big fan of the Dumb World Record breaking. Reached out to him through Twitter, and so far, no response. So,
come on, Rush.
Come on, buddy. Spread the word. All right, so this week's technical Dumb World Record of the Week comes to us from the United Kingdoms. So a British world record, a British inventor, good Lord, I can't speak today, is seeking the Guinness World Record for the longest mobility scooter.
The longest distance traveled, or like the longest actual like scooter?
Literally the longest scooter.
Oh wow!
So here's so Kevin Nix 57. I always find it weird when they put their ages in news stories. Like that adds nothing to the story. Like he could be 30, 50. Okay, anyway.
But how old is
so he's 57.
Okay.
So, and he previously earned Guinness World Records for creating the world's fastest motorized shed.
Oh, I think we talked about him once upon a time. I feel like we've heard his name before. I remember the shed. I remember a motorized shed.
And the world's fastest wheelbarrow, which is, as far as I'm aware, a wheelbarrow is something that you push. So isn't that like the world's fastest wheelbarrow? Isn't like, what's his face?
I have a feeling there's rockets involved with that one.
Who's the Usain Bolt?
Usain Bolt.
I imagine just any old generic wheelbarrow that you get from Home Depot.
Mm-hmm.
If pushed by him, will become the world's fastest wheelbarrow. I'm just going to put that out there.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
Who knows?
Is there a hill involved? Who knows?
So anyway,
longest scooter.
Kevin Nix said he decided to take on the title of world's longest mobility scooter after discovering the current record stands at 10 feet 4 inches.
10
Which
feet,
okay.
4 inches.
So what he's basically done here is like
It's just shorter than a car.
So the record is only 10 foot 4 inches. I could beat that. So he's been inspired. He's been inspired. He wants. But what I want to know is what led him to discover that. Who is sitting at home with a glass of wine, maybe watching Netflix? Oh, I can't decide what I'm going to watch. Let me check out how long the world's largest mobility scooter is. Why? As we say in the jingle. Why?
There's no Netflix going on. There's probably some red wine. I'm also thinking vodka might be involved in this for some reason.
Like he's walking home from the bar with his friends.
He doesn't have any friends, Mike Fish. Come on.
Maybe. But after like a daytime drinking session, and someone's like rode past him on a mobility scooter, and he's like, "It's a pretty long mobility scooter. I wonder how long the longest one is." And that's what's that like. It's very weird. But Kevin Nix of Chipping Norton, England, said Guinness. So this is okay. So we're gonna get some stipulations here. So Guinness World Records rules stipulate that this creation must be a standard mobility scooter with no wheels in the middle to support the extra weight.
Okay.
So it has to have 2 at the front, 2 at the back. That's your lot.
To come with the wheels it came with.
Basically, yeah. And he has to demonstrate the scooter can travel at least 328 feet under its own power to qualify for the title.
328 feet? That doesn't seem very large. Now, does he have to make any turns? Because I see turning a problem with this. Now, let's just... For context, I just Googled it, and like a Nissan Versa sedan, that's an average car, is 14.7 feet long.
How long?
Already. 14.7 feet. Under 15 feet, Mike Fish.
Okay.
So this man has to just beat under 11 feet? Alright, that doesn't seem terribly hard. But, like, again, he can only have the original wheels. He can only, 4? He can only have 4. No middle wheels, no support wheels. So, like, I still foresee, like, turning as a problem with this. So, does it say anything in the stipulations about, like, just 328 feet straight? Or, like, they have, like, an obstacle course for him where, like, he has to go around cones and bullshit?
It doesn't specify, so I'm going to assume it's a straight line.
Okay, we'll take it.
Because I imagine because what he's planning doing is, so the current record stands at 10 feet 4 inches, but he's looking to like, okay, if I'm gonna break this world record, I'm gonna break it. Like I want this record to stand the test of time. So he is aiming to build a 22-foot long mobility scooter.
22 feet.
So I'm going to assume that's the turning circle on that's not great. So I'm going to assume it's going to be a straight line. But so the inventor said he will officially attempt a record later this month. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll find out whether he does it. at Elvington Airfield in Yorkshire, England. And again, with the airfield situation, so that makes me assume it's going to be a straight line kind of thing. But yeah, good luck to you, Kevin Nix, you weirdo. Hope you break your world record.
I guess so. So, the average pickup truck, and I don't have like a specific brand here, is 19.8 feet long. That's just your average. I live in the suburbs. I don't have a construction job truck.
So this guy's looking to make a mobility scooter longer than the average pickup truck. It's pretty bold.
Pretty bold. Like, do you think like the seat would be just up in the front, or would it be all the way in the back? Like because he can't be in the middle.
With fake hands
he can't be in the middle.
End of long sticks, like puppets. But no, I imagine he's gonna be at the front.
I mean, there would have to be a steering column. There has to be. I mean, regardless of where he sits, yeah. I would like to know more.
Well, hopefully,
we can revisit this.
If he's successful in his world record by the end of this month, we'll find out a little bit more and we'll revisit this wonderful.
Well, even if he fails, which is a strong word, I would like to know more.
Well, I'll keep googling his name then, just for you.
All right, put a Google alert out. Yeah, put a Google alert out.
All right, well that wraps up the first half of this show. For those watching live and the video version, just because of the way we're doing this, we're just going to keep on rocking and rolling. But for those who are listening on demand on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all that good stuff, we will see you after this short break.
I feel like
Spicy. All right, let's keep rolling, baby. Yeah.
It's now time for the middle of the show quiz.
Hey, welcome back to Waffle Box. Or if you're watching the video version, we never left. But it's the middle of the show, so we're going to do the middle of the show quiz. And if you've never laid your eyes or your ear holes on an episode of Waffle Box, middle of the show quiz is pretty simple. Kush does a movie review each and every week, and so I like to quiz him before he does that. So he can, we can actually see if he's legit or not. As we mentioned at the head of the show, he is reviewing Clerks 3. So I put together a little Clerks quiz to see what he knows about the franchise.
We've done this show enough times now that I should guess that this was going to be like a Clerks or Kevin Smith related quiz, but I get no heads up on this.
No.
Mike has not told me what's going to happen today on the show, so I am in this with brand new eyes, just like everyone else, if you're joining us for the very first time.
And so I ask him 5 questions. Obviously, his aim in the game is him to try to get at least 3 to win. But sometimes he doesn't win it, and then that's sad for him. If he gets the question right, he hears this little noise. And that makes him happy. Oh, but if he makes the wrong suggestion, he hears this noise. Which, as you can see, makes him sad. So, best out of 5. Are you ready, Mr. Hayes, for your 5-question quiz on Clerks?
I'm ready, Coach. Let's do this.
Which now, are we safe to say this is a franchise now? Like, how many movies do you have to have involved to make it a franchise?
I mean, it's been a franchise because Jay and Silent Bob are in most of them, so they're all related.
Oh, so the Jay and Silent Bob's spin-offs are technically in the franchise.
I believe it's called the View Askew universe. Yes. And like, there's maybe only a couple movies that aren't in this, like Red State isn't in this universe, and I don't think Jersey Girl is in this universe. Maybe a couple more that I'm mistaken, but like, Jersey Girl actually not terrible. People
love Jersey Girls.
Like to hate on Ben Affleck and J-Lo at the time.
All right, so here comes question number 1.
Let's do this.
So how much, and this is, listen to the specifics of this question, because I'll give you a heads up in that the wording is very important in this question.
Okay.
How much, and I'll give you a range of to the closest $5,000. how much did the original Clerks movie cost to shoot? So it's just not post-production. This is just to shoot the movie.
I'm gonna say like 85,000. That might be a little high.
It was actually, so I'm assuming this is supposed to be renowned knowledge because it's very specific on the Wikipedia page. It was $27,575.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole thing where like he sold his comic book collection, and it was a very, very pricey collection to get that first film made. $27,000. Again, also in 1992 dollars. Like, wow.
So it's probably at least 28,000 now. I don't know. I'm not very good with inflation. Question number 2. In what year was the sequel, Clerks 2, released?
Clerks 2, that was 2006.
Correct. Alright, that was your easy one. Now we're going to get to the dig.
Thank you.
Right. So, obviously, Clerks was Kevin Smith's very first foray into the movie sphere, where he was credited as the director, writer, and editor. What was Kevin Smith's second movie where he was credited as director, writer, and editor? We had the trifecta. What was the next one?
I would like to say it's Mallrats, but it probably wasn't Mallrats. I'm gonna just say Chasing Amy.
Oh, you son of a
wow!
bitch. Yeah, almost fell into my trap. Yes, Mallrats. He was director and writer, but he didn't edit the movie. Chasing Amy was his second movie to do all three. So well done, well done.
That was a Hail Mary, and I know that was a personal film for him as well. So,
well, this next question.
Got a weird love-hate relationship with Kevin Smith, FYI.
He does seem like a nice guy, though.
Seems like a really nice guy. 1,000%.
Mind hanging. I'd like to sit down at a TV and watch WrestleMania with him. Like, I reckon
I don't think he's a wrestling fan, but we could smoke a
yeah,
doobie and watch The Flash.
He's always at the wrestling. He loves wrestling.
Does he? Okay. Good
Yeah, he's a big wrestling fan.
Oh, well, then he would love me. Shit.
Exactly. So we should hang out. Maybe he could come onto the Waffle Box. We could talk about this shit anyway. That's neither here nor there right now. Question number 4. It's getting intense. This one, that was the Hail Mary, maybe this one might be a Hail Mary. Jason Mewes, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, who plays Jay, lended his voice to which 2017 war-themed video game?
Call of Duty.
And there's a lot of Call of Duties.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's stupid. That thing has multiple franchises. Call of Duty Black Ops?
No, I'll give you half a point, though. Half a point, 0.5.
Right.
It was Call of Duty Infinite Warfare.
Oh, you know what? I have that one.
Where he played, apparently, he's credited as playing himself. So I've never played that game, but I'm interested to say what Jason Mewes was in that. But yeah, here we go.
As Jason Mewes, I have to go back and play Infinite Warfare then. I did not know that. I would have said he was the robot.
Question number 5. So we're going for a deep cut here. Deep cut for question number 5.
Tiebreaker.
So which character in the original ending of Clerks 1 was killed off?
Oh, that was Dante.
Oh, you son of a gun. Well done. You got 3.5 out of 5. Yeah, Dante Hicks. Killed off. And fun facts, if you didn't already know, now you know. So the guy who killed Dante Hicks, or the actor that played the character that killed Dante Hicks in the original ending, was Kevin Smith's cousin. And the customer that came in was like, oh, I guess they're closed because there was no one in there. Not discovering a dead body behind the counter was Kevin Smith, but cleanly shaven. So a lot of people didn't recognize him.
Funny.
Fun fact.
I mean, I've seen the deleted scene, but it's decades. It's been decades.
Well, Kevin Smith, he only apparently got rid of it because of like a lot of backlash or some shit.
Oh no, people did not like the ending. Like people liked Dante. They did not.
But
want to
he
see him
liked
die.
it because there was like an ode to like a Star Wars thing and other thing. Like it was never. I had it in front of me. I can't remember, but he had like he wanted to create a really funny movie with a dark ending. That was what he wanted to do, and then it didn't end. So he's like, oh, I guess I'll switch it up. So there you go.
That was definitely a Harvey Weinstein note, by the way.
Less we say about him, the better. I should say.
It was his movie. At the end of the day, he bought it.
But he also did Project One More Runway, so fuck that guy.
Harvey Weinstein did Project One Way. Okay.
He produced that. He produced that show. Yeah. Weinstein TV. That big dirty pervy cunt. Anyway.
Smart. The great.
I think
great
in 65 episodes, that might be the first time I've ever said those words. Dirty pervy cunt. And so here we are. We're breaking the
all together like that. Yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I've said all of those in separate occasions, but all in one. This is the first. I'm pretty sure. And if anyone wants to go back and listen to prove me wrong, go ahead. We'll take the listening numbers. Anyway, before we dive into Clerks 3 with Cush's movie review, we've got a little section that we like to call the Trapdoor section, where we give Cush Hayes 4 different scenarios or 4 different things, and we ask him to delete one from history because it's shit. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Trapdoor segment. This week's Trapdoor segment. What? Were you going to say something?
We've already deleted mosquito. We've already sent mosquitoes down the trapdoor. So
mosquitoes already gone.
You guys get an extra trapdoor.
So this is a bonus
trapdoor segment. Thank you. Thanks, Mike Fish.
Bonus trapdoor. Since we're live, raising money for Liberty Human Society. Go to charity.enjoywafflebox.com. Donate your monies. So this trapdoor segment, just through experiences that I've had recently. The overarching title of this week's trapdoor is quote unquote social obligations.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a little obscure, maybe. So I'm going to give you 4 situations that the average human being has been put in, I'm sure, several times. And you have to delete one that will never, ever happen again, which will, I guess, just decrease the stress level of the human race by 25%. So here are the 4 situations. Situation number 1. When a family member invites you to their wedding. Okay. Situation number 2. When a friend asks you if you want to see their baby's photos. By the way, these all annoy me. Situation number 3. When someone friend requests you on Facebook in person. Like they're looking at you in the eyes when they're friend requesting you.
Okay, that's weird.
And
that happened.
Really? Oh, it's fucking horrible. Because then he's like, fuck, I have to accept now, don't I? Jesus. And situation 4, people who start a conversation with you and then pull out their phone when it's your turn to talk. Each one of these, I fucking want to punch them in the head.
So,
but
the family member's wedding, no, that's not going down the trapdoor because that's the cherished celebration. It's an extension of life. We're happy for our family members and our friends that invite us to their wedding. These days, none of these things seem to last too long.
That one, before you answer them, maybe let me expand on that then. Because
expand. Feel free to expand.
If say a distant cousin of mine said, "Oh, hey, I'm getting married next month. Would you like to come to the wedding reception or the wedding party?" Fuck yeah, I want to come to the dinner and
everyone wants to go to the party.
Disco. Oh, fuck yeah, I'll go. but the actual wedding. So you have to sit through the ceremony. That's what I'm talking about here. Okay. Just so you know.
I understand that. Yeah,
Okay.
you must have some very, very over-the-top, boisterous family members and friends having these ceremonies, because none of these weddings I've been to are longer than 15 minutes. You know, it takes longer for it to assemble everybody into the area to sit down. The thing is bang, 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 and then we go get drunk right across the street. That's been every wedding I've been to.
I once went to a wedding in the Philippines.
Oh, boy.
And
lots of ritual there. Lots of ritual there. Yeah.
I want to say, if I'm trying to get the time, it was like July-ish. So it was like very humid. Yes. And the church, the ceremony itself went on for fucking ages. And the church itself just literally had like 1 or 2 ceiling fans. Just, so it's basically like sitting
not even
in
providing light
in a sauna for an hour whilst watching this wedding, and then just randomly, just when you're like, oh, the wedding's almost over, the priest would break out into song and just start singing. But like, so what is going on?
They do. Those Filipinos do love to sing their hearts out.
They love a bit of karaoke. Any chance they can sing, they love it. But yes, sorry, not to try to project my experiences onto your decision, but yeah, those are the 4. Go for it.
No, I'm happy to visit all my friends and families getting married. I hope that they go the distance, as I heard on a TV show tonight, which I thought was hilarious. So we're not getting rid of family weddings. Friends, baby pictures. Again, I want to see my friends evolve. I want to see them grow up. I want to see their babies. Like,
calling bullshit. No, you don't. Why do you want to see that?
I like to see my friends
all
grow
babies
up.
look not to be. Is that racist by saying all babies look the same? I don't know, but they just
think so.
They're just
not racist.
Basic human beings. They're not like they have no personality. They're I don't give a shit.
I only have to sit through the photos for at most 15 minutes, hell, a half hour. They have to sit with those babies for 25 hours.
Obligation. I have to say, oh my god, it's the cutest baby.
No,
you have somehow given birth to the perfect child. That is the best looking baby
that has
ever been created.
No one
Otherwise, they get offended.
I think this is on you. No, you don't have to say any of that shit. In fact, you can even go one step further. Like, no, I don't want to see your baby photos.
That's an ugly baby. Try again.
You don't have to say that either.
No, okay.
No. I see what you're saying, but I think you're going about it the wrong way. All right. And then friend request in person, that has never happened. Like, I'll work a lot of jobs, we'll meet new people, and then at the end of the night, like, I'll check my Facebook and like, oh yeah, so yeah, sure. There's never been a thing where someone just goes Mike,
this is happening.
I'm doing this right now.
No. So, all right. Several fucking times I have had someone walk up to me, not just walk up to me cold. Like we've been introduced. We've had this like no, they'll literally open up their Facebook app, ask me to type my name in.
Oh.
And then they'll request me, boom. And I'm like, well, now I have to fucking open my phone and accept this shit.
So in that situation, that has happened to me at the Redheads Festival.
Now I have to read your asinine statement, or now I have to see that you've reached level 10 on some bullshit game that people were paying 10 years ago.
No, I have had that situation happen to me at the Redhead Festival. I'm happy to accept everyone's friend's request. But guess what, Mike?
You're too nice.
You can,
and this is coming from a British person. You're too nice.
I'm a nice guy. What can I say? But you can always hide them, so you never see anything from their feed if you just don't like them in the end. Or guess what? You could also unfriend them a week later, and they're probably not going to know.
You can't do that.
They're not going to know. They're not going to know.
But no, I have
people anytime I want.
I have roughly 600 friends on Facebook. Probably about 400 of them are muted. I don't want to say.
Okay, there you go. Then you know the game, man.
But it's still awkward in that situation, in that moment.
Don't let it be awkward, though. I think you're projecting that. Don't let it be awkward. Just go like, yeah, sure, and then hide, mute, or whatever it is, whatever the buzzword is. But we are getting rid of rude conversationalists who, after they speak spew all their bullshit out to you, then just start looking at their phone when you start reciprocating and you're into the conversation. So fuck those guys. They can all.
I must be. I've had one of those recently where it becomes very obvious and very clear that they are only starting this conversation with you because they want you either to ask them that same question back so they can say some shit that's on their chest, or they just feel obligated now. It's like, oh, I did my bit, and then they just pull out their phone and play their game. Wankers.
No, we've been in a position tonight because of just Wi-Fi signals being what they are. Like sometimes I'm talking over you, sometimes you're talking over me. I'm definitely doing a lot more than you are. I'm sorry. But I'll be in conversations where there's no Wi-Fi involved, where we're maybe less than 6 feet apart, and they'll ask me my opinion on a specific subject. I'll get 3 syllables out, and then they'll just say some other bullshit on top of it. I'm just like, what is that? What is that? So that's Trapdoor, folks. It kind of goes a little something like that.
What a segment! What a segment! All right. Well, you've went out into the world and watched Clerks 3. Mm-hmm. So I guess I should give you the opportunity to review this movie.
Why not?
In this week's Cush's movie review.
Cush's movie review.
Clerks 3. Dude thing. Tell them about it. I'm assuming this is related to Clerks 1 and 2.
It is related to Clerks 1 and 2. It's related to Chasing Amy. It's related to Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back and Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. And it's related to a bunch of other stuff within the Kevin Smith View Askew universe. As we said, he is the writer and the director of this. I don't know if he did any of the editing. I really don't care either. But it's a rated R. It's actually one of the few films I think that didn't have a hard R on this one. Not important. 1 hour, 55 minutes. I don't know if I would cut.
If you know the Cush system, that's cutting it. That's cutting it.
You could totally chop 20 minutes out of this, but we'll get into this. So it's Clerks 3. It's feel like an unnecessary sequel to an unnecessary sequel that was Clerks 2, as we discussed, came out in 2006, following the 1994 release of Clerks 1. Clerks 1, it's a fantastic film. Doesn't hold up today, unfortunately, but it was a big part of my growing up. When I was 16, I was a clerk, and everything in this movie was very much real. Despite the fact that I didn't live in New Jersey, these were all universal themes that happened to me. I never locked the shop and played hockey on the roof, but there are a specific set of hijinks that would go on here in San Francisco. However, having said that, Clerks, the original Clerks was on in the background a lot, and you know what? You come to appreciate the characters like Dante and Randall, and of course the Jay and the Silent Bobs, and that movie should have just been its own movie. It kick-started Kevin Smith's career. He would go on to do Mallrats, and then Chasing Amy, and then Dogma, and then a bunch of other movies that are just escaping my mind right now, or I have probably already mentioned as well. But
I do feel better. Obviously, he's done very well for himself, but the big ones are like, oh yes, Kevin Smith. He did Clerks, which Clerks was such a success. He went on to do other movies such as Clerks 2 and Clerks 3. But yes, Dogma. I think Dogma was probably his biggest quote unquote success. I think.
I think you're correct
Jay
about
and Silent Bob. Maybe Jay and Silent Bob. Maybe
Silent Bob, I believe, was the biggest movie he did, and I don't think it had the same return, because I remember leaving Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, leaving it with a bigger headache than when I walked into the film. I was not a fan of it. It is one of the things.
Didn't Dogma star a twat that would later become Batman?
Started what? Ben Affleck? Yeah.
Ben Affleck.
And then your everybody's favorite guy from Hogwarts and Die Hard.
Bruce Willis?
Not Bruce. Bruce Willis is not in Harry Potter.
No, he's not.
Alan Rickman.
I know. Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman.
What a guy!
What a nice guy. Anyways, we're getting all over the place here. I think it was because of the failure of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back that we got desperate and like, well, everyone likes Clerks, so let's come out with Clerks 2 after an unreasonable set amount of time. And this is when I think Kevin Smith just started writing for his specific demographic of fans. Like, he knows his fans, he knows the jokes they want to see, he knows the characters they want to see, and the situations they're in. And so we just got a lot of the same bullshit. In fact, the best part of Clerks 2
more people
was the addition of Rosario Dawson, and her presence is very much missed in Clerks 3. She's still in Clerks 3, but not as you would expect her to be after Clerks 2. What happens in Clerks 2? Well, start first off. Brian O'Halloran, Jeff Anderson, Jason Mewes, Kevin Smith, and Rosario Dawson all reprise their roles from the previous films. And one thing I didn't know after all these years, Mike Fish, despite how many times I have seen the original Clerks, is Jeff Anderson, who plays Randall. Kevin Smith originally wrote that part for himself. He didn't want to be Silent Bob. He wanted to be Jeff Anderson. He wanted to be Randall. So Randall has all the best obnoxious lines. So that was going to be Kevin Smith. And so when we come to Clerks 3, Randall has a heart attack. This is very much based on Kevin Smith's real heart attack from like 4 or 5 years ago now. And that has to do something to man. There's a lot of, reflecting on the past, looking towards the future. Doesn't really matter where you are in life. You don't feel like you've done enough, probably. And so we get a lot of those themes in Clerks 3. Where Clerks going to do an homage to Clerks 1. So we get a lot of re-shot scenes from Clerks 1 with the guys as they are today, 30 years later. And to be nice, they're all cute, but it's all so unnecessary. I feel like we could have done something much better with the dialogue. I feel like we could have done something better with the scenario of a man dealing with his mortality, who just had a heart attack, who is in a dead-end job, pushing 50, and wondering what he's done with the rest of his life. But instead, we got this. So a lot of the movie is pretty mundane. It's pretty basic. There's some ha-has in it, but none of it is my favorite. My favorite stuff from this movie, which exceeds the entire movie, which has stuck with me for days, there are the scenes between Brian O'Halloran and Rosario Dawson. They only have 3 scenes together, but that first scene and that last scene, man, like, we get a little misty-eyed, Mike Fish. Not gonna lie to you, dude. Like, there's some emotions going on. Brian O'Halloran is acting his motherfucking ass off. I don't know what he does outside of Clerks. I don't know if he's been in like Dinner Theater. I don't know if he's been in some other indie film that I am not aware of. But he throws all on the film there. It's the best scenes Kevin Smith has ever directed, ever in his life. And again, they stuck with me for the past 3 or 4 days. As of this right now, you can see Clerks 3 in the theater, but I think it ends today, Sunday. So if you're watching this or listening to this on Wednesday, it was a Fathom event. I'm sure it'll be on streaming sooner than later. But if you didn't see it in the theater, you're probably SOL. So my review of Clerks 3,
shit out of luck.
Overall, is
just don't know that.
Yeah, they Google that. Clerks 3 is a 3, but a 3 out of 5. But those 2 scenes I'm talking about that I don't want to spoil for anybody, 6 out of 5. Like those were some really emotional, heavy scenes, man. And it's the best thing.
6 out of 5.
6 out of 5 for those 2 specific scenes.
Oh, but for the movie overall,
3. I just had that. I've said that 3 times.
I wasn't. All right, cool. 3 out of 4. So if so would you say? If, this is always a question. Yes, if you're, this is a big question. It's always whenever there's like a sequel or a trequel, I guess. Yeah. Would you say to enjoy this movie, you have at least to be familiar with the first 2 movies, or at least the first one?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. No, so if you have no idea what Clerks 1 and Clerks 2 are, this is a shit movie. I'm not knocking it for that, because obviously it's Clerks 3.
I don't think you get anything out of it, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, I absolutely think you need to see Clerks 1 and 2. Anything else? Maybe not. Who cares? They really focus on the events of Clerks 1 and 2 in this. And if you're a fan of Kevin Smith's, like, if you're a die-hard Kevin Smith fan, you probably love this. It's I don't have the Rotten Tomatoes.
Kevin
score
Smith
for
was
it,
never in Die Hard. What are you talking about?
He was in Die Hard 4. However, I don't have the Rotten Tomatoes score in front of me, but it's in the high 90s right now as we were talking. So there's the few people who have seen this through the Fathom Events distribution, they're loving this. I'm possibly the exception, or maybe I'm being too hard on it. I don't know, but yeah, 3 out of 5. But again, those two very specific scenes, which I would have been happy to just witness on their own, 6 out of 5. Fantastic stuff, Kevin Smith. Good for you.
Lovely stuff. But yeah, in case just in case anyone thinks I'm trying to find reasons to dig into this, I am not. But the case, for example, like Back to the Future 3, even though it's the third best movie out of the 3, it's a good movie. However, if you haven't watched Back to the Future 1 or 2, I imagine that it's a horrible fucking movie. I bet that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It's a horrible movie. So yeah, just wanted to see if that was the case with this one, and it apparently is, which is fine. This is fine. So yeah, check that out. Clerks 3 in theaters now. If you're watching this live, if you're watching this on demand, listen to this on the Wednesday that this comes out, then wait. I guess you've missed your chance.
It'll probably be available to rent on streaming platforms worldwide.
What movie isn't at this point? So
right.
Just wait a couple of month or two, and then it'll probably be on Amazon, Apple Plus, Hulu. There won't be a Disney Plus, or whatever. You know what I mean? It'll be there. Wonderful stuff. So just to kind of give you a heads up to the Super Squad peeps, have you already got your eyes on another movie? What could we be talking about? Episode 66 of the Waffle Box.
For Execute episode 66, I could talk about The Woman King. I could talk about Cobra Kai 5.
That's not a movie.
Mike Tyson Hulu. But we've talked about TV series before.
We have.
Don't yell in my ears, please.
Sorry.
However, today being Sunday, tomorrow being Monday, Regal Theaters are having a sneak peek for a mystery movie. I got a ticket. I don't know what we're going to see. The block is 2 hours and 20 minutes long, apparently. So we might talk about that. So
I want to hear about that.
Surprise.
Yeah, let's do that. Maybe we could do that Cush's mystery movie review next week. Oh,
yeah, not impossible.
Oh, I'm excited. So what are you gonna say? You're gonna wait until you see it before you confirm? Like, so if maybe sometime next week I'll get a DM on Twitter like, hey, we're doing a mystery review. So I know, that mystery review was good.
Or something stupid. I don't want to talk about that. Like,
yeah, that's fair enough.
We've added 15 minutes to DC superhero. That's like, I don't want to talk about that. Like,
so yeah, stay tuned. Stay tuned to the Twitter sphere. Go to @WaffleboxPod on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and we'll keep you informed of what to look forward to next week. But there you go. But also, it's just a fun show. Just listen to it anyway. Don't judge. Before we end the show, as we always do on a feel-good story, just to warm your hearts and your tummies, especially on a Sunday evening when everyone's probably feeling way more depressed than they normally are. Let's get some plugs going in. So yes, this is Wafflebox. So if you haven't already, go to enjoywafflebox.com and subscribe to your preferred platform, whether it be YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Good Pods, however you want to listen to normal podcasts. Make sure you subscribe to us at enjoywafflebox.com. If you want to buy some sweet swag like this t-shirt that I'm wearing, and I've got a mug here somewhere, but not important, go to wafflemerch.com as well. Then also I do some more podcasting. If you want to watch us live doing that, I have a podcast channel which is called Pop Couture. Go to twitch.tv. It's like, yeah, it's like there somewhere. Go to twitch.tv/Pop Couture, which there's an E missing at the end. I've only just noticed that. We've been live for an hour and 15 minutes. I've just noticed I've misspelled my own goddamn channel. So, but it's twitch.tv/Pop Couture, POPCOUTURE, even though there's no E on that on the graphics. Go to that. So on Mondays, if you like wrestling, there's a wrestling show. Tuesday, if you like football and soccer, there's football and soccer show. Wednesday, there's NFL talk. Thursday, there's movie and TV talk. There's so much going on that channel. There's a bit for everything. Go to twitch.tv/popculture and hit the follow button. Also, my gosh, if that's not enough to fill your bellies full of podcast goodness, this guy over here has his own thing called the Bosnet Family. What has the good people that we like to call our watchers and listeners, the Syrup Squad, got to look forward to this week on the Bosnet Family?
Well, just a couple of days ago, we released a microdose with Cy Pena. He's one of the stars of the new feature film, very indie-rific film called Nova. It's a sci-fi feature about robots and space and all that good stuff. It should be a lot of fun. That comes out September 20th. The podcast interview is out as of 3 days ago. This Friday, coming up, though, my main man, Kakamang, he is a luchador out of El Salvador, and he's got a big match coming up October 9th in Sacramento, California against El Chupacabra, and we're going to talk a little bit about that, his start, how him and I know each other, and a bunch of goodness. You won't want to miss that. That's the microdose, and that is on the Bosnet.family. Again, it's also on Spotify's and iTunes and your YouTubes, etc., etc. And Mike Fisher, if it makes you feel any better, when microdose was a Cushion Kai product, it was spelt Mercodose for like months. Months. Not an hour, but like the graphic was months. And I was like, all right, I should have caught that, but there's like 4 other people in the Bosnet family chain that should have caught that too, and we did not.
It happens. Humans aren't perfect, I guess.
There's something wrong with my eyeballs too.
Yeah. Wears glasses, everyone, just in case you're listening. He's one of those, but so do I sometimes. I get there. If I get headaches, I have to put the goggles on. Perfect. And of course, if you are just catching this for the first time, since we are live, you're watching the on-demand thing, blah, 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 blah. Just in case either, because we're still kind of not 100% sure how this live thing works. Maybe I sound crappy. Maybe he sounds crappy. I don't know until I listen to it on back. But trust me, if you listen to the regular episodes, we sound perfect. So if there is any audio issues this week, we apologize. But episode 66 will be pristine for your ears.
Please let us know. If you loved us, let us know what you liked about us. If you didn't like us, let us know what we can improve on.
Just don't sit and mull on your misery. If you're like, oh my god, this is not making me happy, tell us why. So that next week we can make you happy, because that's what we want to do. That's why we do this.
Well said. And just before we get into the feel good segment, man, I just want to thank you, Mike Fisher. I know you put a lot of work into the show, dude, and I appreciate being here every week. And yeah, man, thank you for everything you're doing on the Waffle Box. Appreciate you.
And since we've been nice to each other, I guess I'll be nice to you as well. You have nice glasses. No, I'm just kidding. No, but yeah, Kush Hayes is the man. If it wasn't for Kush Hayes, there would be no Waffle Box, because he inspired me to get into the podcast game. And then when I was trying to get into the podcast game, I did it for like 3 months, and then it crashed and burned. And I was like, hey, Kush, fuck it. Do you want to just do a podcast together? And he was like, yeah. And then here we are. So if it wasn't for him doing his microdose nonsense, then we wouldn't be doing this Waffle Box nonsense. So here we are. All good. It all comes together in the universe that is known as the Milky Way. Anyway, this feel good story. Since we're already feeling good, let's get into the closing segment of this week's show, which we always end on. It's the feel good segment of the week. Get sexy, everyone.
Ooh.
That's the coolest fucking story I've ever heard in my entire life. That's insane. Can I hear it again?
This week's feel good segment involves an author, which is rare because books are boring. But this week's feel good story features author Jamil Jankoche, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, which I'm probably not. So what happened was, this fella came to America, didn't speak a lick of English, and then his English teacher, Mrs. Lung, from the second grade, He credits his success to her because she taught him how to read and write, something that she managed to do in just 1 year. So this kid in the second grade couldn't speak or read English. She knocked it out of the park in 1 year. What a woman. What a woman.
Nice.
So this guy, Jamil, ended up becoming a well-renowned author, or maybe not well-renowned, it's all subjective, but he became a successful author. You know, he made a living of making books and writing books. So his English teacher was something that he never forgot. So he was like always wanting to be like, do you know what? I want to connect. I want to reconnect with this teacher so I can at least thank her as an adult for what she did to me. So for over 10 years, this fella, by doing research from Google, social media, calling school districts, and all that good stuff, never managed to reach out to this woman, never managed to find her. And then one day he did an interview with a magazine, and he mentioned this, like, oh yeah, by the way, yeah, I have to give thanks to my second grade teacher who taught me how to read and write English, because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here. Luckily, this English teacher's husband happened to read this interview and was like, motherfucker, that guy's speaking about my wife. What the fuck? And so he then started doing his own research, tap. And then several years after, or not several years, I guess, because we're still technically in COVID, but whatever, that's a whole discussion for another time. But after COVID, this guy, Jamil Koche, was doing a book signing. And while he's doing his book signing, this crazy guy comes up to him and goes, hey, my wife is Mrs. Lung. Do you want to go see her? And he was like, what the fuck? Yes. And so this guy dragged this guy over to this woman, and he was like, oh my God, that's my teacher. And they had this really special reconnecting moment, and where, unbeknownst to her, so he didn't let her read it at the time, but he took one of his books that he was signing at the time and wrote all it says is that he wrote the things that he couldn't say, but which had been in his head and heart for a decade and more, that it's this woman, and he signed a special copy to her and gave it to her, and they finally got to meet after all this time. Oh, it warms your heart. But what a happenstance that moment! Like, he was just talking about how he went, and it just happened that her husband was there at the time. Oh, what a moment! What a moment! That's the feel-good story.
That's really nice. Oh, it's really good. I like it.
Oh, warm inside. And now, just to feel that warmness, since we're live, I can talk about real-life situations. I'm gonna wrap this show up. Gonna have a cigarette, and I'm gonna cook myself some Korean barbecue. What are you gonna do, Kushes, with the rest of your Sunday? For those that are listening, just through per habit, listen to this on a Wednesday. Like, what the? This is 4 days ago. What are you gonna be doing?
I'm gonna go outside. I don't believe it's raining anymore. I'm gonna smoke a little doobie, and then I'm probably gonna watch some YouTube on the big screen here. And then at some point, get my mom her medication. That's an evening. We're done.
So you're gonna medicate yourself and then medicate your mother and then relax. What a Sunday.
There you go.
Well, if you have joined us live, if you have watched this live on demand, whatever, let us know how it all went. Because again, this is the first for us, so we want to make sure it's all good. If we need to improve, let us know. But if you are just regular watching this on a Wednesday because pure habit, because we have for the last 65 weeks plus in the calendar years, we have just released on a Wednesday. If you are just listening on a regular habit on a Wednesday, again, let us know. Thanks for listening. Tell your friends, tell your family, and all that good stuff. Because we love yous. Yeah, little syrup squad. Let us know how it goes. Go to enjoywafflebox.com. Go to twitch.tv/popculture with an E at the end, not without an E at the end, because, again, I'll fix that for if we do this again. Maybe for episode 100, we'll do this again, and we'll try to fix it. But anyway, go to enjoywafflebox.com. Find all the links. Go to bosnet.family as well. And until next time, I guess, Take care of yourselves. And each other.
That's all, folks.